So I have a control that can mute and unmute this microphone over at the computer. I'm only gonna unmute it while you guys are playing, and then I gotta mute the other microphone. The sound is warbly on the computer. So. Yep, it goes on. But this doesn't pick up sound, and hopefully with Regent's mics. So. Just realized it's still gonna go to this even if it doesn't go.
Fucking life just next me. You have like 10:30. You see the start.
Hello? Alrighty. Welcome. Please make your way to your seats, mute your cell phones, and remain standing if you're able. The ceremony is about to begin. Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing amazing today. I would like you to welcome you all to Bay Mills Community College 2024 commencement ceremony. My name is Tennille McLeod, and I will be your announcer for the day. It is absolutely great to have you guys here today, to see you all here today, and to see all of our guests, our staff, our faculty, and of course, the class of 2024. Let's hear it for the class of 2024. Okay, you guys. I know it's early, but it's not that early, so I want one more round of applause, a little bit louder. Let's hear it for the class of 2024. Alrighty, that's better. Okay, woo-hoo, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And to those that are attending the graduation ceremony online, good morning and thank you. And thank you for joining us from afar. As we begin, I would like to take a moment to give special thanks to the flag carriers and to the Mission Hill Drum, Chimigwech. A couple of other quick mentions for those that do happen to get up to have to look for restrooms. Restrooms are over to your right, and then for you guys, well, my right, your left. And then afterwards, we would like to have you guys all stay to join us for lunch. So let's hop right into this. And I would like to invite Bucko Teeple, Dwight, to the stage to give us the invocation. Please rise if you're able.
Ani, benediction. Abojo, wabanang additional cause. Kino shakaning and donjaba, makwa, din do them, ishkwa, din and ishna bay and dow. Amikwich, wabanang, jawanang, pingishmuk, kiwidnang. Bigwich ishkakmikwe, magay negashi ki, bigwich, kajam the do. Bigwich, kenwoya. We pray with our tobacco today and ask for blessings upon our graduates and our staff here at Bay Mills Community College. We give thanks for all the things that they've done. We give thanks for those graduates going on to a new life. We give thanks for the things that they've accomplished here. We say miigwech, 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 miigwech.
Miigwech Bucko, thank you. At this time, I would like to invite our president, Mr. Dwayne Bedell, to the podium to say a few words. You can all be seated.
Miigwech Tennille. Class of 2024. It's a great day to be here, isn't it? Are you excited? It doesn't sound like too much excitement to me. Come on, graduates, you guys can do a lot better than that. So, I could barely hear you on this side, and I'm not hard at hearing though, but I'm sure that our graduates who are participating online would love to hear your voices as well. So let's give it one more shot. One. Awesome. Thank you. So, as I reflect on what my message would be for the class of 2024, I realize that I have a lot to say. So, if you bear with me, I promise I will keep it nice, short, and sweet. But by nice and short, I mean I should only take about an hour of your time. So, please settle in and get comfortable and listen to a nice, beautiful speaker. I'm just kidding, I will not take that long. So, the class of 2024, faculty and staff, Board of Regents, distinguished guests, cherished family, and friends, welcome to BMCC's 40th commencement ceremony. Let me say that again. Welcome to BMCC's 40th ceremony. As you may have noted and seen around the campus today, that we have a new logo that we brought into existence at the beginning of this year to signify our 40th anniversary. Today is our 40th, this year is our 40th year. So we are all excited to have you here on this milestone event. Chief McWitch for joining us today, and on behalf of Bay Mills Community College, it's a great honor to welcome all of you here and to welcome all of you who are watching and participating online. Today we have graduates who are participating in person who are over here, and we have several graduates who are participating through our live stream as well. Before we get too far into the program, let's have a round of applause for our guest of honors, the graduates. I would also like to take a few moments to recognize some of our special guests here today. And once I recognize you, please stand. Bay Mills Community College Board of Regents, our awesome faculty, and for the staff who are in attendance today, please stand. So last but least, planning an event like this takes months, takes several hours, and so on. So I would like to ask the commencement committee, our planning committee, to please stand so we can give them a round of applause. They're probably still behind the scenes working away, but please know that they spent a lot of time planning this event for our graduates and for all of you here today. I also like to recognize a couple of special guests that we have here today. First, I'd like to recognize the Brimley Area School Superintendent, Mr. Brian Riator. He's standing back here in the room. After a long career, he is retiring this year and he's going to be missed. I had the distinct honor of working with Mr. Riator over the last several years as we built partnerships between us and the Brimley area schools, and I look forward to the continuing relationship as we continue to work with his school district and all of his faculty and staff at his facility as well. I would also like to announce another special guest that we have here from the Kiwana Bay Ojibwe Community College, President Lori Sherman, and she is back there. As tribal college presidents, we all strive to support each other's institutions, so I really appreciate you being here today. This year, we're awarding 150 credentials to 134 individuals, which include 9 bachelor degrees, 60 associate degrees, 73 certificates or certificates of completion, and 8 diplomas. 73 graduates are Native, representing 13 tribes. 20 graduates reside outside of Michigan, who also represent 14 states. In fact, we have a few of them here. We have 2 students who traveled from Toledo, Ohio to be here today. And we have 1 student that traveled from the Seneca Nation in New York to be here today as well. So out of this group, 84 students are first generation college students. Imagine that. These are the first students that finished the college degree. If you think about it, there has been a lot of hard work, and I'm sure that the students may have been stressed at times, maybe shed a few tears as they're working on their assignments while they're working toward their academic goal. But you know what, graduates? You did it. You stood fast, you dedicated yourself, and you made sure that you completed all of your works to be here today. Graduates, I hope that you realize the amount of dedication that it took to reach your goal. Class of 2024, I am sure each of you are proud to be here. I'm also sure that each of you have started to ponder on what your next step is going to be. Well, for today, let's not think about the next steps. Just embrace the moment today. Celebrate with your families and your friends. But most of all, have a great time here as we recognize you for your accomplishments. Today, as you graduate, you join the BMCC alumni family. Like your fellow alumni, you will move on to do great things for your communities, for your country, or for the organizations that you choose to work with. Some of you will enter the workforce, and some of you will continue on to a four-year institution, or even stay at BMCC. But maybe some of you will pursue a graduate degree. As you move on to your new venture, remember everyone here at BMCC is in your corner. As you sat down today, you may have noticed that there was a little coin in your seats. That coin represents that BMCC will always have your back. All of you are the perfect stewards of the seven grandfather teachings. There were times where you helped a classmate, which represents love. You looked at your peers, your teachers, staff as they guided you, which represents respect. You look challenges in the eyes, especially with math classes, right? That represents courage. We all know how math classes can treat all of us here. You ask questions when you did not know the answer, and that's just being honest with yourself and being open with yourself. Being humble, acknowledging the mistakes that you made, being thankful and giving credit represents humility. Being honest with yourself and with others represents truth. And finally, when you have the aha moment and you realize you know how to proceed because of the teachings that you took in, that represents wisdom. As you are working toward today, I believe it's important to acknowledge the support that you receive from your family and friends. So graduates, I'm going to ask you to please rise. So take a look around the room. All of you have family and friends here, so let's give them a round of applause for their support for you. Family and friends, Chief McWitch, or thank you for allowing us to be a part of your students' lives. We certainly are grateful. Graduates, you can please seat. Graduates, as you know, life is full of challenges. I have to admit, sometimes I get on Facebook and I do some Facebook stalking, but during some of my stalking sessions here, I came across something that really caught my eye in the Bay Mills Community College's Trio page. And it said, there are challenges that you will conquer, but there are also challenges that you will not be able to conquer. If you fail, never give up, because fail means first attempt in learning. End is not the end. In fact, ends, effort never dies. And if you get no while you are pursuing an opportunity, just remember that no means next opportunity. Keeping this thought in the back of your minds will help change your mindsets. In closing, I have one question for each of you, and this is something that I remember hearing for the first time a while ago while I was listening to Eminem. Graduates, if you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it or would you just let it slip? As you're thinking about this question, some of you will say that day will come later. However, someday you will say to yourself what Zach Bryan said about himself when he wrote his song Someday. I will come to my senses, sitting on fences in fear, and I would realize after all of that time that someday was always just right here. I hope all of you seize the moment when the opportunity arises, and I hope you realize the opportunity arises, that when the opportunity arises, that you do everything that you can do in your power to capture that moment. So I'm going to take a moment here and take an opportunity this moment here, and I'm going to get a picture of all of you over here for 1 second. So we can take a serious one, or we can take a fun one. That's up to you. So I'll take a couple of them. So here's the serious one. All right, graduates, you guys got to give me a funny pose here. So ready? 1, 2, and 3. Awesome. Thank you. So as you celebrate your accomplishments today, remember that you're always welcome back at Bay Mills Community College. It doesn't matter how far in life that you are, please know all of us here at BMCC will support you and continue to support you through your work, through your academic studies, or any other resources that you may need. Do not ever be afraid to reach out to anybody here at BMCC. I think everybody here learned that our faculty and our staff are just simply awesome, and they're more than willing to go that extra mile to ensure that you receive the resources and the support that you need to be successful. So Chief McWitch, for allowing us to be a part of your life. We're excited to see what you accomplish as you pave your way for the future generations. McWitch, and have a wonderful day. Kansas at.
Thank you, Dwayne, for your kind words. I would like today to introduce you to the commencement speaker, but before I do, I would like to share a little bit about Dr. Catherine Campbell. Dr. Catherine Cat Campbell, Washte Wiya, Good Woman in Lakota, and Waspanoquet, Bright Sunshine Woman in Meskwaki, is a program analyst in the Office of Post-Secondary Education, Bureau of Indian Education, Indian Affairs, under the U.S. Department of Interior in Washington, D.C. Dr. Campbell is an enrolled member of the Winnebago tribe of Nebraska. She is also Pomo and Pit River on her father's side and Meskwaki on her mother's side. Dr. Campbell's post-secondary education began at Black Hills State University and St. Gliska University before earning a bachelor's degree in elementary education at Augustine University in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. She earned her master's degree in educational administration at the University of South Dakota in Vermilion, South Dakota. She was awarded a full fellowship from Penn State American Indian Leadership Program, funded by the grant from the U.S. Department of Education, to earn her PhD in educational leadership with an emphasis on special education in 2010. While at Penn State, she also served as a student member on the board of directors for the National Indian Education Association. Before entering government service in 2007, Dr. Campbell served 8 years as a teacher and later 4 years as an assistant principal for Winnebago Public Schools. She also served on the board of trustees and taught a course at Little Priest College. Her position in the federal government have included education specialist for Title I and special education, McKinney-Vito homeless education coordinator, and acting special assistant to the acting director. She has also been detailed to 2 elementary schools during her tenure, one at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, where she served as acting principal at Havasupai Elementary, and the other at Isleta Elementary. Most recently, she was detailed to the Southwestern Indian Polytech Institute in Albuquerque, New Mexico, as acting vice president of college operations. In her current position, she oversees 34 tribal colleges and universities that are located across 13 states, including 1 in Alaska and 1 near the Mexican border. She is the award-winning official for 3 grants, AHEC, Pre-Law Summer Law Institute, and Native Forward. Dr. Campbell is a strong advocate for tribal colleges and universities. She accredits John Tepekanik, that was a tricky one, John Tepekanik and the late Lionel Bordeaux for fostering such deeply held beliefs in the viability of the tribal college movement. Catherine is a mother of 7 children, 2 who are attending TCUs, and the grandmother of 10 grandchildren. Please give a warm welcome and put your hands together for Dr. Cat Campbell.
Where'd it go? Thank you, Ms. McLeod. And thank you, President Bedell, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2024. I would like first to give thanks to the Creator and ask my elders to excuse me for speaking in front of them. I'm very honored to be here with all of you today as we celebrate this milestone in these students' lives. Today, I join all of you as we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors who came before us. For it is their struggle, their suffering, and their perseverance that made it possible for all of us to be here today. I would like you to think about that phrase that I will attribute to Tashina Lomawema, an author I heard back in graduate school. We stand on the shoulders of our ancestors who came before us. This phrase carries a lot of meaning for me, and I would ask you to keep that in mind as I share some words with you today. As we are in a tribal college, I would like to start by giving you some background on the tribal college movement so that you can appreciate those who came before you, who did the work so that you could be here today, especially those in your community who worked for 40 years so that Bay Mills Community College could become a reality. Congratulations on that major milestone. It was back in 1968 when the Navajo Community College, which is now Dene College, was established by the Navajo Nation to meet the post-secondary needs of its members. It was followed by 5 more tribal colleges from 1968 to 1973. And if I wasn't 5 years old at the time, I would have been out there helping them. But I was 5 years old. The leaders at these colleges, of which one was a member of my tribe, the late Louis LaRose, worked tirelessly to get legislation in place to fund tribally controlled community colleges. Many times the door was closed in their faces as they walked on Capitol Hill. The late President Lionel Bordeaux, Sente Glashka University, whom was a mentor of mine and was such a visionary, would always tell the story of a congressman who told him to give up that idea and said, "You people are good with your hands. Why don't you concentrate on that?" So, for 7 years, these leaders walked the halls of Congress being told no. 7 years. Imagine getting no. These leaders never gave up, and in 1978, Public Law 95-471, the Tribally Controlled Community Colleges Assistance Act, was enacted, and in 1981, funds were appropriated to grants for TCUs. Today, tribes can charter their own college and educate their people by exercising their tribal sovereignty. There are 2 colleges now coming close to becoming federally funded tribal colleges: San Carlos Apache College and California Indian Nations College. The process is no easy feat. The College of Muskogee Nation waited several years to get approved. When I took this position in November 2016, I am happy to report I got Red Lake Nation College approved in a month. The real credit, though, goes to their president, who is a hereditary chief, Dan King. He was very astute in getting all the requirements met and the college across the line. I just had to push the paperwork and get it approved by the Assistant Secretary of Indian Affairs. The TCUs have operated their colleges on shoestring budgets, and it is due to the dedication of the presidents and staff who work at these institutions. To this day, the TCUs have not been fully funded. The average amount in 1981 per student was $2,831. Last year, the TCUs were funded at an average of $8,000 per student. You are graduates now. You do the math. This year's funding for 29 TCUs is $87 million. But that number pales in comparison to another federally funded college, Howard University, that received by itself $212 million in 2021. The funding Bay Mills receives each year is based on the Indian student count, and that is a formula. Not like every student is counted for 8,000. Part-time are counted for so much, full-time are counted for another amount. The Bureau of Indian Education requires students to be members of federally recognized tribes in order to count them. Last year, Bay Mills received $2,506,720 based on the prior year's enrollment. That amount is to pay all the academic, educational, administrative purposes, and operation and maintenance of the college. Did you hear anything about construction? No. So in the last 2 years, plus 3 years, they finally were able to get construction money in the amount of 15 million. This year it'll be 16 million. Obviously, that's not enough. So Bay Mills applies for other funding from like the Department of Ed and other grantors. Despite that financial challenge, President Bedell and his team have been able to do the following for you and your community. Bay Mills will now offer a BS in Computer Information Systems and Business Administration that are completely online. Bay Mills offers free tuition to members of federally recognized tribes. That includes First Descendants. Bay Mills has a successful TRIO program, which I witnessed last night. It's so good. Bay Mills is proposing to also build an allied health building. And also, can I say, you have one of the most beautiful campuses, one of 3 tribal colleges that sits near the water. They offer 3 bachelor's degrees, 16 associates, and 11 certificates. They have dual enrollment for high school students. Bay Mills graduates are able to attend mainstream colleges and universities seamlessly. What would your ancestors think of your people now? You stand on their shoulders. In order to reach these achievements, you have to have strong leadership and a president who knows what it takes to keep a college going. BIE requires all TCUs to be accredited by a national accrediting body. President Bedell walks his talk. While running a successful TCU, he is also finishing his doctorate. While it's just at Michigan, it still has some meaning. I'm teasing him because my alma mater is Penn State. It is very hard work to work and earn a degree. So let's give him a hand too. In 2022, I was detailed to Southwestern Indian Polytechnic Institute, SIPI, as acting vice president college operations, and they were starting the process of going through an accreditation review. So they do this, it's an ongoing process. You don't just have a college say, oh yeah, you're good. No, you have to keep proving you're good. Let me tell you, it's a rigorous process. I'm glad my year ended. If you look at the college's literature, you will see that the Higher Learning Commission accredits Bay Mills. This is an intensive process that the colleges must go through to ensure they are offering quality programs. If a TCU, or any college for that matter, were to lose their accreditation, the degrees that were awarded would mean nothing. So while helping you get your degree, staff are working hard to keep that accreditation. So, what role do you, as a new graduate, play in this? It is the same one I do. You are now an advocate for tribal colleges and universities. You are now sitting in a place where you can strongly promote the tribal colleges and universities as a viable option for our Native students and other students. This is my mantra. Tribal colleges are a viable option. When I was growing up on the Rosebud Reservation and in high school, and I hang my head to say this, we would make jokes about graduating and going to Sente Glashka. There was a stigma attached that somehow it was less than. How wrong we were. No one had ever sat down to tell us how hard the first tribal college presidents worked to get accreditation, recognition, and funding. I went to a mainstream college, but had to come back to help my family. I then attended Sente, and one of my first classes was in a church basement. Today, the Sente campus sits along a beautiful lake with several buildings for classrooms. I ended up graduating from a private university, Augustana University in Sioux Falls. I didn't notice any difference in the academic rigor of either school. One thing I did notice when I was at Augustana was a lot of students cheating on the religion final. I think their ancestors are cringing. Also, what do you, as graduates take away by attending a TCU. It is the unique experience you will have had should you have been fully engaged. This includes our non-native students. At the public and private colleges I attended, I never had the chance to learn my tribal language or culture. At a TCU, I made my first and last star quilt. I don't like to sew either. Good thing I wasn't born back in the day. I would have been pretty useless. At my tribal college, I was able to take a class from a local leader, the late Reuben Snake, who had so much knowledge. At Augustana, I never got to go to Capitol Hill to speak directly to my congressional representatives. At a TCU, students may attend AHEC's Legislative Summit and speak directly to their congressionals. Secretaries of Education, Interior, and Agriculture gave presentations to TCU students. Students even get to pose questions to them. This is a big deal. I work at Interior and never get to say, "Hey, Auntie Deb." At my public university, I was just a number in a huge class, so I shrank so no one would see me. At a TCU, the small class sizes are acknowledged as a positive by students that I spoke to. At a public college, I didn't have a lot of Native students to hang out with or study with. At a TCU, students can attend conferences with other students. There is power in numbers. I thought about the first time I went to the AHEC student conference in Billings and walked in on their hand games and saw all these young people decked out in their native dress and all playing hand games. I thought about how their ancestors' struggle were not in vain. Don't get me wrong. I want our Native students to go on to mainstream institutions if that is what they want to do. But know that several of our tribal colleges also offer bachelor's, some master's, and now even a PhD. I am just saying that students tend to be successful if they build a foundation and gain confidence at a TCU first. They will take with them a unique experience. They will also go out knowing what is needed in Indian country. So, today, graduates, I want you to think about your unique experience at Bay Mills and the road that brought you here today. If you look hard enough, you will realize this educational journey, whether it was hard or if it was easy, was set in motion with all the tools, people, obstacles, success, and challenges you needed to get where you are today. You had to experience all of it because it's going to help you in your next journey. You are where you are supposed to be at this time. I realized this late in life. When I thought about how I grew up on the Rosebud Reservation, I didn't realize I was gaining valuable experience, even though it was trying at times, that I would later share with my students. Whenever they would say, "You don't know what it's like, Miss Campbell," I could say, "Yes, I do. And here's how you get through it. Get your education, and no one can take it from you." When, as a first generation college student, I had to figure out on my own how to get to college, get funding, and complete paperwork. And each time I made a new journey, the process became easier to navigate. When a door closed on me in Winnebago some years back, I stared at it for a bit, but then went through another door. Those doors brought me to where I am today. Working in a job that I love, not only am I able to help Bay Mills, but 34 other tribal colleges and universities. Now, instead of just assisting one of my high school students as a principal get into a TCU and later grad school, I now oversee $11 million in scholarships for Native students and develop guidance in how those dollars are awarded, with a priority given to our tribal college students. You are where you're supposed to be at this moment, and your experiences are preparing you for your next step. You are laying the groundwork for future generations to stand on your shoulders. In closing, I would like to acknowledge and recognize people who have helped me in my journey. When I was growing up and later as a grad student, I had several mentors who helped me in that journey. One is Lydia Werwin Soldier, who is a role model to me and loves me like a daughter. She was and is a teacher, author, instructor, and talented artist. Another was the late Dr. Lionel Bordeaux, who was the longest serving president in the country, the longest serving president. He was president at Senke Glushka University and was a visionary. He encouraged, advised, and supported me since I met him. His story, which he would always tell, and people would like, why are we hearing this again? Now I know, so that we can tell that story of the struggle it took for these tribal colleges to be where they are. The tribal college movement lost a giant in the field of Indian education. Dr. John Tipiconic, who was my advisor at Penn State, also gave me so many opportunities and checks on me to this day. He is also a staunch advocate of TCUs. And finally, another friend and colleague I would like to recognize is Dr. Martin Reinhardt. He was my rock when we were in grad school and is brilliant. But he would always tell us how the Ojibwe invented everything. Is that true? Don't answer that. Finally, I acknowledge my mom, Pauline, and my dad, Art, who loved me and instilled in me the importance of an education while still being an activist. At last, I would like to ask any previous graduates to please stand from Bay Mills or any other tribal college. Wow, look at that. And help us recognize the graduates of the class of 2024. Now, like Mr. President Bedell did, class of 2024, join me in thanking all your supporters who helped you cross the finish line. Your parents, faculty, children, brothers, sisters, friends, loved ones. Say a thank you to them. Great job. And class of 2024, you now stand on the shoulders of those who came before you. Your ancestors are proud of you. Pinagigi, have a good life.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell, for your excellent, kind words. At this time, I would like to invite President Mr. Dwayne Bedell to the stage to present the Faculty of the Year and then proceeding right into the Frank Hugo Award.
So good morning again. Could I get one more round of applause for Dr. Campbell? She is such an elegant speaker. So Chimikwich. So I get the absolute pleasure and honor to introduce our Faculty of the Year. Our Faculty of the Year is someone who is dedicated to supporting the students that he serves or has in their classes, but also is recognized as a leader amongst the faculty here as well. So it's my honor to present the Faculty of the Year to Mr. James Sawaski, who happened to be our colleague of the month this month as well, too. So please come on up. So as Mr. Swansky is making his way up the stage here, I have to mention that he is our own BMCC's chess master. So he runs the chess club here, but he's also a ranked player as well, and he's helped a lot of our students learn the game of chess, but also how to think critically across through his statistics classes that he teaches, some of the other math classes that he teaches, but also just the mentorship and the guidance that he provides to his students and to his faculty as well. It's my goal that one day I'm going to be able to beat him in a game of chess, or at least last 30 seconds when I'm playing this guy here. So again, Mr. Swasey, congratulations. So at this time, I'd like to call up Miss Michelle Wellman. She is going to help me present the Frank Hugo Award, but she has a little story to go with that first.
Miigwech doing Ojo Kinagoya, Chinenda Mamina Kinagoya Maki. So every year when we do this award, we are going to tell you the story about Frank Hugo. He's the reason why we have this Memorial Scholarship Award. So Frank Hugo, Frank Victor Hugo, lived from 1909 to 1993. He was a hunter, warrior, and a fluent speaker of the Ojibwe language. He was also a 20th century Ojibwe man, and he balanced his traditional lifestyle with modern living. He was born to Frank and Charlotte Hugo in 1909. His great-grandmother was Betsy Bird, and she was born in the early 1800s and died at the age of 106 in the 1920s. 3 months before he was born, his father drowned while fishing. And while attending the old mission school in Bay Mills, Frank was punished. He was spanked for speaking his native language. He was sent to the Mount Pleasant Indian School, and he was not allowed to speak Ojibwe at all. He stayed through the 8th grade and completed his schooling there, but he wasn't bitter about that experience. He had the opportunity to travel, and he competed in baseball while he was a student there. He was also determined to never lose his Anishinaabe language or identity. He came home, he worked in CCC camps around the area. He lumbered up in Eckerman in the woods with his stepfather. Lost my place. Ed Oga. He put a lot of venison on the tables of relatives as a hunter, and then his grandmother and mother gardened and gathered food from our abundance of wild berries and things that grow in our home area here. And together they all spoke Anishinaabemowin. He joined the U.S. Army in 1942. He was Army infantry during World War II. He landed at Normandy in the second wave of the invasion force. He was a scout and a truck driver. He served in northern France, at Ardennes, Rhineland, and Central Europe. He was decorated, highly decorated with the Victory Medal, American Theater Ribbon, European African Middle Eastern Theater Ribbon. He earned 4 Bronze Battle Stars, 3 Overseas Service Bars, 1 Service Stripe, and a Good Conduct Medal at the time of his honorable discharge in 1949. While he was serving in Germany, he met and married Lisa Lotte Earnhardt, and they had 4 daughters together, Charlotte, Frida, Heidi, and Lisa. His family was a big part of his life, and his nieces and nephews meant as much to him as his own children. His sisters were Mary Hugo Lee, Frances Cameron, and Lydia Hugo Teeple. So those of you who are from this area, you recognize a lot of those family names. So I think we're all related one way or another. So when his widowed mother married Ed Oga, she had 5 more children. So he had a big family with more big family names. Clara Oga Thompson, Angus Oga, Helen Oga Fish, Walter Oga, and Ethel Oga Passage. Frank and his family love nature, and they continue to, as I said earlier, gather the wild berries and things that grow, chokecherries, sugar plums, blueberries, and pine cones. If they were out in the woods and they came across a berry patch, he could throw together a birch bark basket to have a container for them to be gathered in. He remained active in tribal affairs throughout his life. He participated in the old-style council meetings under the handmade arbors, and he offered his home to visitors and guests. As an elder, he volunteered to teach Ojibwe language in the Bay Mills community. He traveled here to Bay Mills from his home in the Sioux on nights, weekends, and even throughout winters to teach the youth their native language. While language preservation is at the forefront of our concerns today. Back in the 70s, Frank was already committed to helping our community recover and preserve our language before it slipped away. That is why we honor him by offering this language award in his name. When Frank visited his lifelong friend, Sam Waischke, another big family name from here, in long-term care, the nurses said Sam could no longer speak, but he did speak with Frank in Anishinaabe or Ojibwe. He died in 1993 after a long struggle with Parkinson's, and he is sorely missed, but he lived and died an Anishinaabe, strong, caring, and humble. He passed down a traditional heritage from time immemorial to his family and to our community. So we will be having Dwayne present the certificate for the Frank Hugo recipient this year, and their name has been engraved on a plaque. This is our third plaque. We've been doing this for, I'm not sure how long, this might be 30 or 31 years. So we display the plaque in the Bay Mills Community Language and Culture Center, and along with the story that I just read about Frank and his picture from his later life and his Army days. So, back to you, Dwayne.
Miigwech, Michelle. So before I announce who the Frank Hugo Memorial Anishinaabe Language Award goes to this year, I'd just like to share a couple of things about this individual. Over the past several years, in my previous role when I worked for tribal administration before I moved over to the college, I met this bright young lady as one of our staff members. She was always insightful, she carried herself, carried the culture, and lives and breathes Anishinaabe culture. Recently, this individual has had a major impact on the Bay Mills Indian community. Through their leadership and through their stewardess of our culture to ensure that our culture is alive, to ensure that our language is always alive, they have done a wonderful job because in recent years, I'm proud to say that as we go through our community, that our culture is alive. We have our language that's coming back to life. We are displaying our culture to the public, and we're embracing the culture. I love seeing our youth nowadays embracing our culture and want to learn the language and also learn everything that they can before our culture is lost. So it's with my great honor to announce this winner of this award. Is a personal friend of mine and a colleague of mine that I had the pleasure of working for many years now. It first started when I was in tribal administration, and now it continues as this person is a member of our board of regents. So I would like to present this award to President Whitney. President Whitney Gravel is not only the president of the board of regents, but she is also the president of the Bay Mills Indian community. So Whitney, it's a pleasure to give you this award, and Chief McWetch for everything that you've done for me.
Uh, maybe I had no idea, so I'm very shocked right now. One of the things that we really wanted to focus on, especially stepping into this leadership position, was making sure that we stay alive who we are as a people. And a lot of my teachings related to our culture actually comes from my knowledge related to our treaty negotiations. I work a lot with those and the 1836 Treaty of Washington. And one of the teachings that had been given to me is to always think of our ancestors and the insurmountable pressure that they were under when they were negotiating those treaties. But despite that pressure and despite all the hardship that they faced, they were always able to preserve the number one thing that mattered, which was the ability to be able to live an Anishinaabe way of life. It is part of who we are, as we heard from our commencement speaker. It's part of our education. It's part of our societal structures, and it is so important that we continue to keep that alive, not only connecting the past to the present, but also linking it for the future, not only for these students that are here today, but for our children that are in the audience. And I'm just really honored to be a part of that. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations again to Jim Sawaski on Faculty of the Year, and then also to Whitney again. Staying on that same note, yes. Yeah, let's do that again, right? Okay, staying on that same note of hard work and dedication and leadership, I would like to call attention to an individual who has displayed those qualities and has made an impact as a student here at BMCC. This person is our own BMCC Student Council President, Quentin Schwander. Quentin is originally from the Traverse City, Michigan area. He is Odawa and Ojibwe of the Grand Traverse Band. Quentin is Bear Clan. He is attending BMCC majoring in computer information system, and his goal is to go back to work in his native communities and help. Quentin stated that I look forward to representing our school and thank you for giving me this opportunity to shine. Please welcome to the stage, Quentin Schwander.
Ani, yeah, my name is Quentin Schwander. I don't know how to follow up all that, but wrote a little bit here. Um, First of all, yes, Ani, I'm Mishkwaji Benesha Indigenous Cause Traverse City and Donja Makwa and Dodom. I am a Bear Clan, and I am so proud to be here. I'm so proud of all these students that have graduated, and I'm so motivated to continue my education here at BMCC. I would also like to thank the staff for their continuous efforts for these students and the dedication they have had for them. I would like to thank the Creator for giving me the opportunity to be here and be here with you guys for this wonderful day. And I'd like to try something with you guys. All right. So I would like to say something. I would like the students here to say something in return. So I would like to say, I want to say, who are we? And I would like you guys to say BMCC. Okay? All right? So let's try it. All right. Who are we? All right. That's a little weak. Okay? All right. Let's try it again. Who are we? There we go. There we go. Um, I'd like to share a little bit of my story with you guys. I moved up here when I was 28 years old. I'm gonna be 30 next month, so that's scary. But before I moved up here, I had lots of doubts, and I was very scared to to have an education, to take the opportunity to change my life, and I'm so glad I did. When I was home back in Traverse City, I was talking to one of my cousins and asked her about coming here, and she said something to me that I won't ever forget. She asked me, "What are you scared of?" And I didn't know. I didn't know if I was scared of failing. I've done that a lot. I didn't know if I was scared of success or just trying, you know? Back home, I just kept hitting dead ends and wasn't getting anywhere with my life. But that all changed when I came here. I've met so many good people. I met so many people I want to have in my life for the rest of my life. And through adversity, through challenge, I've come to acknowledge the benefits of education isn't just it isn't just knowledge. It isn't just, you know, the money that you can get from these careers you can have. It's a chance. I got my second chance here at BMCC, and without that, I don't know where I would be. I was I moved up here on a whim pretty much, and I didn't have anywhere to live. Now I do. I mean, I got a house now, but I at the time I didn't have a plan. I just did it. I winged it and wanted to see how it would go. I moved up here last year, the fall, and I was sleeping in my car. I didn't have anywhere to go. I slept in my tents and family's yards and couch surfed for a little bit. And not a lot of people know that. Only a few staff members, my sister, and a few of my friends know that, and it's very hard to share. But I was just in a little tiny car. I have a little Chevy Cruze, so I don't know if you know those cars. They're not very wide for a tall guy, you know. So, but I came up here originally to do the EMT program that BMCC offers. I I did that last fall or last spring. I'm sorry, and after months of hard work, staying up late, after all those nights in that Walmart parking lot, I failed. I didn't get it, but I didn't give up. Just like you guys, you can't give up, and you're gonna fail, and it's how you react to those failures, your situations, how you achieve your goals. And I'm so happy and I'm so proud, and we are all here proud at BMCC of you guys. You guys did it, and I'm so proud of every one of you. I hope to be there with you guys soon. So, just keeping this short here, I just ask you guys one more time, who are we? Thank you.
Thank you, Quentin. Those were some awesome words. Thank you. Honors and academic distinctions are amazing to achieve. For those that earn such distinctions, it means that you've worked hard. Each year, BMCC selects 2 students who did just that, worked extremely hard, and which those around them noticed. With this in mind, it is time to present the Student of the Year Award. I'd like to have Mr. President Dwayne Bedell come up and then also to invite Quentin up to present these awards.
So the first Student of the Year award is the American Indian College Fund Student of the Year. Every year we receive funding and the opportunity to recognize a Native American student on our campus. This year, through the nomination of her faculty members and her colleagues, uh, Alessandra Flora has been selected as the American Indian College Fund Student of the Year. Can I have you come up, please? You're welcome. Get a round of applause, please. As BMCC strives to serve our entire community, whether you're Native American or non-Native American, you're always welcome here in our institution to take advantage of the education that we offer here. So with that, we offer a Student of the Year for a non-Native American student. And this year's recipient is Adrienne Savard. Let's give her a round of applause. I don't know if she's here today, but you can see that her picture is up there as well. So, and with that, that's the end of our presentations for today, and we're going to get to the meat of our ceremony here today. So I'll turn it back over to Tanel.
Thank you. Thank you and congratulations to Allie and Andrea. At this time, I would like you guys to all rise if you're able for the honor song. Miigwech Mission Hill. You guys can please be seated. Okay, it is time for the main event. At this time, I would like to ask Samantha Cameron, Vice President of Academic Affairs, to join me on stage to present our 2024 graduates with their degrees. Likewise, can I have Dwayne and the Board of Regents join and line up front here?
She lost the list, guys. We can't do it.
Thanks, somebody to your list.
I got the list. Wow, they moved really fast for old people, right? No, I'm just kidding. Hey, guys, I can say that because I'm probably older than them. Now, are you ready? I mean, this is the big moment. Are you ready for this? Okay. One thing I do have to tell you, on behalf of all of your teachers, we want to thank you for letting us be part of your journey. And we want to let you know, if you would like to come back and spend more time with us and do anything else, we will be here waiting. Or if you have questions, you can call us anytime. That's kind of a cool thing because I graduated from 3 different universities and colleges and nobody ever said that. But you can come back and you can always call us if you need anything. We get kind of emotional because we as teachers, we live for your success and we're really excited and proud for you. So take a moment. I will too. And we'll deep breath and really enjoy this because this is your moment. All right. Okay, you're sure you're ready? Okay. All right. So we're going to confer degrees now, and we will begin. And this is one of the first. BMCC has only been conferring these degrees, the bachelor's degrees, for the last couple of years. So this is very exciting for me still. Would Stacy Flood please come forward? Stacy is receiving an early childhood education bachelor's of arts degree. Victoria Hall, early childhood education, Bachelor of Arts. Amanda Marie Moss, early childhood education, Bachelor of Arts. Chandra Scott, early childhood education, Bachelor of Arts. Elizabeth Smith, early childhood education, Bachelor of Arts. And as you can see, some of our graduates are online with us today. Alyssa Stallman, early childhood education, Bachelor of Arts. Belinda Westbrook, early childhood education, Bachelor of Arts. Stephen Hillock, construction technology, applied associate degree. Jason LeBlanc, construction technology, associate degree of applied science. William Parrish, construction technology, associate degree of applied science. Holly Showman, construction technology, associate of applied science. Destiny Smith, office administration, associate of applied science. Ona Burton, business administration, associate of arts degree. Kathleen Derry, Business Administration, Associate of Arts. Jenna Graham, Business Administration, Associate of Arts. Raylyn Hunter, Business Administration, Associate of Arts. Raylyn also works here at BMCC. Amber McLean, Business Administration, Associate of Arts. Darcy Parrish, Business Administration, Associate of Arts. Madison Rivera, Business Administration, Associate of Arts. Deanna Utley, Business Administration, Associate of Arts. Daisy Walden, Business Administration, Associate of Arts. Helen Wilkins, Business Administration, Associate of Arts. Abrielle Paholik, Early Childhood Education, Associate of Arts. Michelle Hill, Early Childhood Education, Associate of Arts. Stephanie Hull, Early Childhood Education, Associate of Arts. Harley Isro, Early Childhood Education, Associate of Arts. Anita Linsmeyer, Early Childhood Education, Associate of Arts. Leslie Masagli Kahonik, Early Childhood Education, Associate of Arts. Amanda Rogers, Early Childhood Education, Associate of Arts. Haley Shaw, Early Childhood Education, Associate of Arts. Delia Ball, Education, Associate of Arts. Cody Potvin, Education, Associate of Arts, and Michigan Transfer Agreement. Kia Potvin, Education, Associate of Arts, and Michigan Transfer Agreement. Alessandra Gonzalez Flora, Health and Fitness, Associate of Arts. Lynette Carrick, Liberal Arts, Associate of Arts, and Michigan Transfer Agreement. Morgan Chapa, Liberal Arts, Associate of Arts. Savannah Huntley, Liberal Arts, Associate of Arts. Janine Napolitano, Liberal Arts, Associate of Arts, and Michigan Transfer Agreement. Leanna Engman, Social Science, Associate of Arts. Crystal Fitzgerald, Social Science, Associate of Arts, and Health Science Certificate, and Michigan Transfer Agreement. Laura Hulsing, Social Science, Associate of Arts. Mallory Parrish, Social Science, Associate of Arts, and Michigan Transfer Agreement. Madison Mills, General Science, Associate of Science. Lily Parrish, Medical Office and Medical Coding and Billing Certificates. Sharice Graham, Michigan Transfer Agreement. Grace Gruno, Certified Nurse Aide. Jessica Mills, certified nurse aide. Gregory Teeple, certified nurse aide. Heather Ullman, certified nurse aide. Autumn Wright, certified nurse aide. Eileen Gibson, early childhood education, certificate of completion. Callistia Harry Roberts, early childhood education, certificate of completion. Madison Stevens, early childhood education, certificate of completion. Hannah Wagner, early childhood education, certificate of completion. Norma Anthony, medical coding and billing. Angela Sanford, medical coding and billing. These next two are very special. In this program, they have completed the whole program, and it is 6 years long. The first person is Luann Bush, Anishinaabe Immersion Program, 6 years. Thomas Toothorn, Anishinaabe Immersion Program, 6 years. These are our graduates, folks. We have one more thing we have to do, but we want to make sure everybody's together. To make this official, right? And of course, it's going to include cheering and clapping, and it'll be fun. Okay. The board's going to sit down. They are the bosses, so they can do whatever they want. Okay. We showed them what to do.
Okay, here is the big moment. We are going to be taking this tassel from the right and moving it over to the left. The final step. Congratulations, the class of 2024. Okay. All right, trying to move forward, but I lost my notes, guys. All righty. Okay, one more time. Let's hear it again for the class of 2024. At this time, I would like to invite Bucko to the stage for the closing benediction. Please rise if able, and then also two flag carriers, please come and retrieve your flags.
Honey, meanwhile, Wabanang Indishnakas, Miigwech, Wabanang, Noden, Miigwech, Wabanang, Gimoan, Miigwech, Wabanang, Dimkika, Miigwech, Zhao Noden, Gimoan, Dimkika, Miigwech, Q, Pingishmuk, Noden, Gimoan, Dimkika, Miigwech, Kiwednang, Noden, Gimoan, Minwa, Dimkika, Miigwech, Ishkaknikwe, Miigwech, Kasham the Bell, Miigwech, Kanaboya, Miigwech, our graduates, our leadership, and the families that joined them here today. We give thanks and we offer this blessing for their journeys to home or wherever they're going today. We ask for good and safe travels. Miigwech.
Miigwech, miigwech. Again, we invite you all to stay to join us for lunch and some refreshments. Please start helping yourself, and thank you again.